What is good, Jets Nation? It is Richie from Jets Media, and the New York Jets get a W on the road, 31-21. The New York Jets are 2-3. That was for you, Nathaniel Hackett. What a victory for this New York Jets. Wasn't pretty, wasn't perfect, especially in that first half, but it doesn't matter because the New York Jets come out with a W in a must-win game. Now, let's get straight into business, but before you hear my thoughts of this game, I want to hear your thoughts of this game down below in the comment section right now. What's your biggest takeaways? Who are some players that impressed you the most? Let me know down below in the comment section. And also, feel free to simply smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you are not already. Let's get straight into business. Now, there's two MVPs on both sides of the ball for me. Breece Hall is the first MVP we got to break down. I mean, what are we talking about here with Breece Hall? He had a damn game. Now, before we get into Zach Wilson, let's see Breece Hall's numbers, folks. Breece Hall's numbers are crazy. Here it is. 23 carries, 179 yards, and a touchdown, averaging 7.8 per attempt. This is the Breece Hall we all knew and loved last year as a rookie, and he is back. We heard Robert Saleh say at the end of the game last week against the Chiefs, the pitch count is no longer. And this is the first time we got to see Breece Hall featured as the true bell cow, and he broke one free for a 73-yard touchdown run. Even if you take that touchdown away, he still would have had over 100 yards. So, absolute phenomenal game from Breece Hall. The offensive line did a great job despite the injuries that we faced to Elijah Vera Tucker, who unfortunately is injured and dealing with a calf problem. We don't know the extent of this injury yet, so stay tuned for that. I did see him limping to the locker room instead of being carted or anything, so let's cross our fingers that it is not too serious for Elijah Vera Tucker. Joe Tippmann also got banged up, but he would have been able to return in this game. And Mekhi Becton was banged up, but he did return in the game as well. So overall, the offensive line was mixed around, and the Jets were still able to run the ball with Breece Hall. So shout out to Breece Hall. Definitely gets the number one game ball for me. Now the second game ball has to go to Quincy freaking Williams. Quincy Williams had the game of his life. I mean, he finishes the game with 2 ferocious sacks. Jeff Ulbrich dials up back-to-back linebacker blitzes. He notices a little opening in the Denver Broncos pass protection in the hurry-up offense, and he dials up a blitz. Quincy Williams gets a sack, and then Russell Wilson squeezes it into Jerry Jeudy for the first down. And at this point, I'm freaking out. I'm like, Jets defense, just please make a play, end this game. And that's exactly what happens. They dial up another Quincy Williams blitz. He strips the ball. Breece Hall scoops it up, scores. They go up by 10, and that's all she wrote. What a way to finish it out for Quincy Williams. And not only Quincy Williams, man, the Jets defense showed up. Listen, wasn't perfect. The first half was ugly. They got to figure out ways to figure out not to get beat early. But I think what we saw from this Jets defense impressed me because it wasn't like the Denver Broncos offense was doing anything impressive in the first quarter or second quarter. The only thing that was beating the Jets defense was simple: screen passes and Russell Wilson scrambling. And when they made the adjustments of shutting down the screen passes and shutting down the quarterback scramble and forced Russell Wilson to play quarterback in the pocket, shut down. Now, we do need to be better against the run as well, that we were getting gashed more often than not. But overall, the Jets defense really stepped up in that second half. They didn't give up a damn yard until 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter. And you go across the board. C.J. Mosley leading the way with 13 total tackles, 6 solo tackles, a pass deflection, and 2 tackle for losses. Tony Adams with 5 total tackles. Sauce Gardner getting 2 pass deflections. Michael Carter II was with the pass deflection. Jermaine Johnson with the strip sack. They were not able to recover the fumble, but he did get a forced fumble. Bryce Huff with a big-time sack of his own. Al Woods forcing that safety. Quinnen Williams doing his thing. I really, really am impressed with this Jets defense. We kind of finally saw it all coming together. A dominant effort when it all tightened up in that second half after the adjustments. Overall, great stuff from the defense. Now, getting back into the offense and talking about Zach Wilson, my overall thoughts of Zach Wilson is this. It wasn't a game where we're thinking about, oh, this was the Zach Wilson game like last week. He lit it up. He had, 2 plays where you're scratching your head. The ending of that first half, absolute disgrace from the quarterback, from the coaching staff in general, and the offense to not spike that ball and kick a field goal and get 3 points. And then, of course, that interception he had to Pat Surtain. But outside of that, man, Zach Wilson had 19 for 26. That's well over a 70% completion percentage. And if you guys know the old Zach Wilson of last year, he is somebody that can't find rhythm. And he found a rhythm. He's taking what the defense gave him. He did enough to win him the game, and he was finding the right reads, looking off the first defender, going to his second guy through his progressions. I mean, that 3rd and 5 throw in the fourth quarter to Tyler Conklin was probably my favorite throw that he had. Looking off his first read, finding Tyler Conklin, ripping it. Again, not going to sit here and be like, yeah, Zach Wilson proved he's the guy, but he is showing signs of development, and that is what gets me excited. He's trending in the right direction for me personally. And listen, it wasn't perfect for him. He did not have any touchdowns. He had an interception. We got to capitalize in the red zone more often. But overall, solid day for Zach, in my opinion. And then the thing that we need to improve on, that is the elephant in the room, is the red zone. Guys, we would have blew out this team. Absolutely would have blew out the Denver Broncos if we can just score touchdowns in the red zone. The offense was moving. We were in the red zone. And Greg Zuerlein, I love you, but you do not need to be kicking 5 field goals, okay? We need to capitalize in the red zone. Their only touchdown that we had in this game came from a house call, 70-plus yards from Breece Hall. So overall, the Jets need to figure out the gold zone that Nathaniel Hackett refers it to. They have to get the ball in the end zone more often than that. And that starts with coaching, play calling. I did not really like the play calling in the red zone at all, to be honest. Too much running and too much not play action shots into the end zone. But overall, man, the Jets were able to grit out a victory. And I think that it was a sloppy victory. I think there's a lot of things that, Jets fans are not really happy about, whether it's the ending of that first half, whether it's the clock management, whether it's the penalties. Oh, my gosh, the penalties were so bad. I think, the story of this game was going to be the self-inflicting wounds. I felt like this whole game, if we lost, was going to be talked about the penalties. I mean, the roughing the passer, the holding, the false start penalties. I mean, it was stockpiling, and that has to be cleaned up. There's no excuse for penalties. I know that some of them were bad calls, but you still got to be able to avoid those penalties because it was really driving me nuts. But overall, guys, I think this is a big-time win for the Jets. We're 2-3. The Bills lost this morning, so we're 1 game back from Buffalo. We have the tiebreaker over them, and we versed them in a month, so we'll see what happens in Buffalo. And listen, man, this was one of those games that was personal. They had to win this for Nathaniel Hackett. They had to win this to save their season, and they did, right? A win is a win. I don't want to see anybody in the comments being upset with this or that and a W. I invite you guys to be happy. We won a football game. It's hard to win in this league, and as we know as Jets fans, for years, we barely get to celebrate wins and victories. So celebrate this one, folks. Let me know your biggest takeaways down below in the comment section, guys. Love to hear what you guys have to say. A lot of stuff to clean up, but overall, an excellent win on all accounts by these New York Jets, stepping up when we need to the most in the second half. Let's go, Jets. Let me get a Jets, Jets. Comment down below a Statue of Liberty emoji if you stayed all the way to the end. And don't forget to like this video, folks. I'm out of here. Let me know your thoughts, and let's go, Jets.